How are you, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Ray Jarris. I'm currently the producer of Inside Leisure World. We produce that show for the Video Producers Club of Leisure World. And this is our Y2K Special, so Happy New Year. We're going to show you clips of a lot of the shows that we did. We're also going to show you some clips of things that happened inside Leisure World that may not have been on the show. And so we're going to have fun with this one, and we hope that you will enjoy it. And tell all your friends, have them tune in, okay? Thank you.
You gotta put up with that.
On the bus, I saw this redhead, so beautiful and sweet. I smiled at her. She smiled at me and offered me her seat. I got those I should be home right now taking a snooze, middle-aged blues. Get out your white suit and tuck your shoes and tail.
See, I made 2 balls on the break.
Boy, I'll tell you, the way those balls curve on that thing, I sure wouldn't want to play pool on that surface, though, I'll tell you that.
Bowl and traveled in a curve, so that as the bowl approaches the jack, which is the target, it may be coming in at about 45-degree angle, which introduces all sorts of possibilities when you're playing.
Emergency nurse 92 to 93, come in please. Do you have paramedics or medics onto the pharmacy?
Club 3, and it looks to be okay.
Lights are on. You know,
51 to 82.
right here, boy.
Welcome to Inside Leisure World number, well, they tell me this is number 37. I can't believe we're here already, but I believe what they say. Time really flies when you're having a good time. Dr. Aniko Lingel is the Director of Pharmacy at our Leisure World Healthcare Center. She's going to tell me something about some herb that's going to help my memory, because my memory's not the best anyway.
As Dr. Narayan said in his introduction, alternative medicine is not so alternative anymore.
It's such an important topic, and I feel that as pharmacists and health professionals, that it's our responsibility to be educated in this field and to be able to assist people in selecting proper herbs for the use and treatment of various conditions and problems that they may have. You know, what I have been working towards in the pharmacy is to integrate the use of natural medicine along with pharmaceutical therapy.
I wanted to take ginkgo for my memory because I told you at the very beginning that my memory is not so good. How much would I have to take, and how would I take it? A pill form, liquid, what? Tell me a little bit about it.
You have a number of choices. Ginkgo is available in tablets, in capsules, and also in what they call tinctures, which are liquid bottles, and you would put maybe 20 or 30 drops on your tongue and then follow it with a few sips of water. Now, the tinctures are alcohol-based, but they only have a tiny bit of alcohol in them. The advantage is that they're very well absorbed because they're in liquid form. They're absorbed already beginning in the mouth and from the stomach and the small intestine. The disadvantage is that they don't taste so good. People often ask me where they can go for reliable information. And this is a book that I like a lot. It's called The Green Pharmacy by Dr. James Duke. He's a PhD ethnobotanist, and he's quite an expert in the use of medicinal plants. He goes through all the herbs, just summary of vitamins, minerals, and herbs from A to Z. And it's also organized in the same way by medical condition, but this brings in vitamins and minerals as well as herbs. Nutritional healing, and again, it's a broad-based approach that covers herbs and vitamins and diet, many ways of improving your health. If you're using a little bit of garlic now and then to flavor your pasta, that's not likely to affect your cholesterol. If you, because garlic is well known for helping to lower cholesterol.
I had a girlfriend when I was, way small in school. And they were Italian. The family was very, very Italian. Every Friday afternoon when those kids got home from school, their mother made them eat, I don't know if it was a clove or a whole thing of garlic, but I know it was the lot of garlic. And they had to eat this on Friday afternoon, you know.
Was that before or after the castor oil? I wonder if the intention was to improve their health or to cut down on their social life Friday night.
No. The kids were too. They thought it was just the healthy thing to do.
Well, garlic has many healthy properties. It also helps to boost the immune system. It also helps to lower high blood pressure. And so it's a good thing to eat on a regular basis.
I'd like to go out to Leisure World with Ray Jarris. He's been collecting pictures of the lights, Christmas lights in Leisure World. And I know a lot of you couldn't get out and drive around Leisure World to see the lights during the holidays. So whenever you're ready back there, Ray, Kate's one of the most interesting people I know in Leisure World.
I agree with you.
There's a
Betty.
lot of interesting people in Leisure World, but Kate's really got it all on the ball. This lady is well, both of you are very, very active members of the Leisure World Video Producers Club, and Kate is a past president of the club. Kate is one of the people in the club that can always be depended upon for anything we need her for. She will run a camera, edit tape, produce a tape. She also has done Pettigot's portraits. That she's had some very interesting people that she has interviewed. Very talented. Your artwork, you have been published. You have a book that's been published. You're a world traveler, a speaker. I could go on and on forever, but you know what? I'm going to let you talk because I do enough of that. So, shall we talk about your artwork first, or?
That's fine. I'd like to say that 7 years, the doctor came in a horse and buggy to assist with my birth.
Really?
Yes. And I didn't think I wanted to be any kind of a leader in organization because my mother was in the PTA and my father was in all kinds of meetings.
From your life, and as you wrote the stories, you did your sketches to illustrate your stories.
That's right. This is my father taking us kids all out in the country in the Model T Ford.
Well, I have a copy of your book. I've read it.
The people would really enjoy living in Leisure World because there's so many wonderful organizations.
There are.
And Bob likes to go to the sing-along and the swimming pool.
That's right.
And the golf club. And I enjoy a lot of other things too. The Creative Writers Group is good, and the Historical Society, and we really enjoy the Geographic Society's programs.
And there's no reason for anybody living in Leisure World to be bored or have nothing to do.
That's right.
And they can't blame their age, can they?
No, they can't blame their age. And this program of your videotapes is wonderful for the people who can't get out.
That's true. That's the reason we do it. And that's the reason we appreciate people like you and Bob that will come in here and help us do a show of interest for the shut-ins. And we hope that you folks will stay with us. And Bob is also very active in our video producers. And
he's traveled a lot, too.
He's traveled a lot. But the one thing that you two do a lot of together is your work. Bob, you're involved with the Lane Victory.
Yes, uh-huh.
And just quickly, what is the Lane Victory?
The Lane Victory is an old World War II cargo ship, almost 500 feet long, that was given to our organization, U.S. Merchant Marine Veterans of World War II, by an act of Congress several years ago.
Uh-huh.
And it's in full operation now at Pier 92 in the Los Angeles Harbor.
And you and the other veterans keep that thing in ship shape, and you take cruises during the summer, which takes me back to the next point I wanted to make, that you and Kate videoed the cruise to San Diego this past summer.
Yes, uh-huh.
And Kate, I believe you edited it, and
Bob put the voiceover.
Put the voiceover. So you really make a great team.
I belong to the American Radio Relay League, which is an organization of radio amateurs. And then I am a registered professional electrical engineer, and I belong to several of those societies.
That's right. I remember that you're a ham radio operator.
Yes.
And you are also the operator on the Lane Victory. You're one of the Lane Victories.
During World War II, I was a radio officer on merchant marine ships, and then after we got the Lane Victory, I have been active as a radio officer on that.
Okay. Wonder how much time we would say.
We do. And we walk every night in Leisure World.
You walk every night?
This is what's so great about Leisure World. You can walk without fearing that somebody's going to grab you.
That's true. Of course, Bob might grab you a few times along the way. We have to watch.
That doesn't count.
That doesn't count, huh? I'd like to introduce you to Carol Franz. Carol, it's wonderful having you here today. We've been trying to get together for a long time. How great for you to show up today.
Oh, thank you so much.
She's worked in psychology, social work, and she is also an astrologer. I'm going to really concentrate on astrology today. Maybe you could help clear up some of the myths and mysteries that some of our viewers have related to astrology.
Right. Well, I'd just like to start by saying I understand some of their doubts, because I started studying astrology about 25 years ago to prove it wrong.
Oh, to prove it wrong?
Yes.
And
yes.
did you prove it wrong?
No, what happened is I got convinced that it does work. And it's probably one of the theories of science is that when you try an experiment, when it works, then you know that there's something there. And
Absolutely.
that's what happened for me.
Absolutely.
Know. So, as a matter of fact, the class that I first took, astrological, was titled Astrology and Psychology. And of course, from my background, psychology has been one of my other interests.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought this is a good place to start.
It sounds like it would be.
You need to give me your birthday, which is the day, month, and year of birth, as well as the time of birth, and also where you were born. What was the location? Were you born in Chicago?
Okay.
There's a certain longitude and latitude, and all of that information then is part of the calculation of setting up the horoscope, or the chart, as some people call it, or the wheel. And anyway, with that information, then I can lay out where the planets were when you were born. What's used is an ephemeris, it's called. It's a book that has listings forever of where the planets are. It's what navigators use.
And these astrological signs, I mean, this must be one of the oldest sciences known to man.
It is. And I just happened to bring with me Rand McNally. I think they're considered a very well-known map makers, have put together what's called a histomap of the world history, and it's for 4,000 years. And as you can see, it's quite a long sheet of paper.
I should say.
But they use the times beginning of 2000 BC, and it goes through the Egyptians and the Iranians and the Indians and the Chinese. And it turns out about 17 BC is when astrology began.
You knew when I was leaving, you said, now, be prepared for delays on this trip, because clear past the time for me to my return, there were delays in my future. Not only my future, but anybody else that happened to be taking that trip, or anybody, any place in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you determine that I should be prepared for delays?
Okay, you know, like the Farmer's Almanac that you mentioned earlier, we know that the sun affects us. It affects all
That's
living
true.
things. We also know about the moon. We know that the moon affects the tides. There's some very well-known surgeons that refuse to operate during the time of a full moon, for instance, because they know that the body holds more fluids. And then there's many nurses that I've been in touch with that work in psych hospitals, for instance, and they'll say during a full moon it has an effect on the patients.
It does.
And
There's
so
no
we know
doubt about it.
Well, the planet Mercury was having an effect on everyone at that time. And so there was some breakdowns in communications. There was some incidents where there were delays, major delays, and it can be even in electronics, many of those areas. So that was the planet that was affecting you during that time.
It was so terrific, because by you mentioning that to me, you said just take a good book and be prepared.
Right, right.
So sure enough, our plane was like 2 hours or 2.5 hours late,
Right.
leaving LAX, which made us late when we got in. And when we got in, our room wasn't ready at the hotel. So here was another delay.
Right.
We missed the train to go out to our next destination, which was another delay. And I didn't get stressed. I didn't worry about it or anything because I knew this was going to happen to me. So.
That is one of the advantages of astrology, is it does give us a preparation for what we are doing in our life, you know, and people do come to me about major decisions.
Everybody has dreams sometime or other. And, you know, some of those silly dreams that you get, and you wonder, well, now, what does that crazy dream mean? And why was old so-and-so in that dream? I haven't even thought about him for 50 years, but still he showed up in a dream last night. Well, our guest today would be able to decode those crazy dreams for you, help you decode them, and figure out exactly what they mean. Let me introduce you to Dr. Janice Bayless. Dr. Bayless, it's wonderful having you here.
It's good to be here.
May I call you Janice?
Sure.
How are dream images derived?
Well, the dream mind is usually making a picture of what we would say with words. The whole thing is an associative thinking process, and that has many different ways of presenting itself. But a great deal of them are just making pictures of what we would say with words. For example, if someone said to a woman, you know, your daughter's playing coy, well, she would know that it, you know, she could look it up in the dictionary if she didn't know, that coy means playing more innocent than she really is. Well, when the dream mind wants to tell a mother that her daughter's playing coy, it would show a picture of the daughter in a pond playing with koi fish.
Oh, really?
That's one of the things it does, because it needs something visual most of the time, not always, but usually. And now that's, technically that's a homonym. Two words that sound the same, they're spelt differently, they have different meaning.
This is the program number 38. I'm Mary Apt, your host for today. I'm not new to this program, Inside Leisure World. As a member of the Video Producers Club, I've helped with over 30 of these programs. I've done a lot of producing. You may have seen my name in the credits, or you may have seen me with a camera right in your neighborhood, taking a picture of a flower or a rabbit or something of that sort. Being a host on this program is something absolutely new to me, but I'm pleased to be here. And I don't feel totally alone because I've got lots of plants around me. Also, I have a guest with me today. May I present now my guest, Helen Gutkin.
Well, it's certainly a pleasure for me to be here. Arbor Day of 2000 is the, how shall we say it, the target. We would like to have all of the golden rain trees labeled.
I'm a member of the Historical Society, and I know that you're very active in contributing to the Leisure World News. I have lots of your articles here. This article was about terrariums.
Oh yes, that's a big thing. I have about 6 or 8 of those, and I think they're wonderful, especially for people that are shut in.
My guest for today is Ann Seaford, and many people know her because she has written books and started a class in Leisure World on the magic hands, which she will explain to you, but I'll bet a lot of people know or already know about her.
A club, it's called the Magic Hand Balance Circle Group training course. On how to eat correctly. You learn to gauge portion sizes, you learn to eat well balanced, and you lose weight.
It's like magic.
The idea of a magic hand is that if you look at your hand, it's about approximately the portion of food
Correct.
that you should have on your plate.
You do learn to use the hand as a measure.
Yeah.
And it's convenient because it's matched to your body size and it's always with you.
Sam all dressed up. So now it's time to meet the person who owns him, and here is Opal Mangold.
Hi, Debbie.
And you look like you got your arm in a sling there. Was that from clowning around?
Well, kind of.
I've been waiting for this for a long time.
Another group called the Caring Clowns, which do most hospital trips. You go over like that, real easy, and then up like this. See? Very slow motion. Now the thing of it is, get your behind up first, and then you come down like. So, I signed up for this course of Healing with Love and Laughter from Norman Cousins. Did you ever hear him or read any of his books? And if you can go around and cheer up the nurses and doctors, that way the patients get a whole bunch better care.
That sounds like a good idea.
I go to the spinal cord injury in the VA. Now, you can imagine, these ladies or gentlemen can't move a thing, some of them. And you go in there and tell them if they smiled, they would get so much better care from the nurses. So then I bring out these little smile stickers like this. And then I put them either on their face, like that, or put them on their bed, on the bedside there. Oh, I'll sing them a little song like, you can smile when you can't say a word. You can smile when you cannot be heard. You can smile if it's cloudy or fair. You can smile anytime, anywhere. And then put one on their bed. So when that nurse comes in, she's going to look at your smile and you're going to make her day.
Sounds terrific to me. What else did you bring?